I felt like I was taking care of a toddler man. Okay? I didn't have that capacity, and I shouldn't. And no woman should. Okay, we already have babies to take care of, our own children. A woman should not get married so that she can mother a man.
Welcome back to the Madinat Mom Podcast, where real moms talk, experts share insights, and coffee fuels the chat so you can thrive in motherhood. I'm Nour, your host, and today we're talking about an incredibly sensitive topic. Raising a child alone changes how you create, how you love, and how you survive. My guest today, Ishtar, is a single mom of one, visual artist, and certified holistic art therapy practitioner. She is here to talk about navigating single parenthood and healing at the same time. Ishtar, welcome to the Madinat Mom Podcast.
Thank you, Nour. Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a bit about who is Ishtar?
Ishtar is an artist, first and foremost. I've been an artist since I was 5 years old. It was my passion and still is. I'm also a fashion designer. However, I haven't practiced in a long time. Life moved on. I became a mom, and through my motherhood, I realized that I wanted to be something else in art. As I also teach art, visual art, and as I'm teaching, I thought to myself, I need more. I need to give more, and I know that art helped me throughout my life. Mentally and emotionally. And I wanted to give that to other people, moms, adults, children, teenagers. And so I thought to myself, what is it that I can do to use art in a therapeutic way? And so I got introduced to the holistic art therapy, and I became an art therapy practitioner, which I'm very proud of, more than any degree that I have received, to be honest, because really I saw the difference in people's lives. I saw the difference in my life, understanding how to use this medium, this wonderful, beautiful medium, as in colors and art and brushes, and even using your hands. It helped in a different way. It helped also spiritually. It helped, as I said, mentally and emotionally. It helped my daughter. It helped me understand my daughter and how I can help her grow with colors and understand her lines and her way of expressing herself artistically. And so I also helped a lot of moms. And throughout my social media on TikTok, where I always gave moms the advice to tap into their emotional or tap into their emotions to understand themselves by just sitting down, breathing slowly, and just have some colors in front of you, a paper, and go wild. You don't have to be an artist to express yourself artistically. And that's who I am.
Mm-hmm. You know, in one of the gatherings that we hosted at Madinat Mom, we got this canvas for moms to paint, and we just told them to paint away. And we got a lot of feedback, but how? Like, we don't know where to start. We're not artists, we're not. And then at the end of the session, everybody was like, this was therapy. What does a session look like with you?
Somehow the same as you just described. When I start an art therapy session, as in group session, everybody kind of feels intimidated, and that's absolutely normal, and I'm ready for that. And so what I do is that I prepare them by having some 10 to 10 minutes meditation, where they can just breathe and have, like let go of the stress and be more aware of their surroundings in the room or the hall, and just feel comfortable with me, to give them that trust, like I'm here so that you can feel comfortable. I'm not here to judge. No one is here to judge. And this is how I start. Later on, I start explaining verbally what art therapy means, or as an art therapy practitioner, holistic art therapy. And when they start asking, I'm not an artist, but where do I start? And I always say, you don't have to know where to start. That's the whole point. You need to let go. You really need to let go. And by letting go, at this moment, you will be able to let go in everything in your life. You can let go of everything in your life. It teaches you to let go of issues, small problems that bother you every day, anything that bugs you, anything that really distracts you. You will learn with time through this medium that you can just let go. Nothing can bother you, and you move on. You want to fix it, you can fix it calmly.
And you're a mom of one. I'm
a mom of one. I have a 4-year-old, beautiful 4-year-old little girl. I'm so proud of her. She's the one who saved my life.
Mm-hmm. How was the transition to motherhood for you?
Transition to motherhood. Oh, wow. Nour, I always wanted to be a mom. I wanted to be a mom since, I don't know. I was young. I was a child, and I always had this thought of, or passion to have a child. I don't know why. I still am trying to figure that out in my life. Why did I really need to have a child, or want to have a child so passionately? When I became a mom, I knew I was ready. They say you're never ready. And I always say that. It's true. Even when I wanted to be a mom, I was like, oh my God, I'm not ready. I was so scared. But I was so sure, and I was so positive about it and so proud about it. Like, okay, I can do this because I know what to do. I knew what I was doing. And when I was pregnant with my baby, I remember this moment, and it's very sentimental for me, and it's so true. I had my hand on my belly, and I whispered to her, and I said, I think she was about 7 months old. I said, I will promise you that I will heal myself and become a better person so that I can be there for you the way you deserve. I understood that at that moment. I don't know what it was. Was it something spiritual? Was it a calling? This is where my journey started. I wasn't sure where I was going, how I was going to do this. But this is where my journey started. After I gave birth to her, a few years after I gave birth to her, I got introduced to holistic art therapy and psychology. I'm also, by the way, I'm obtaining a diploma in child psychology and play therapy. It's not just about holistic art therapy. It's about reading. It's about educating yourself. And I did that. I did that with passion. I kept reading and reading and reading. I gave myself so much knowledge about psychology, even though it's not my degree, but I was so dedicated. And I read so much about children, Montessori. I introduced myself to so many methods and so many things that some of them I was against, and some I was with 100%. And some I was like in the middle, like, you know what? I need to experiment this. I need to see how this works. But yeah, I had this promise for my daughter, and I kept my promise. and I'm still keeping it. My motherhood matured me. It helped me to mature, to grow up. Really, I grew up. I became more intuitive. I trusted my voice more than I ever did. I don't think I ever did, but I know I started trusting my voice, and it was such a game changer. Like I said, she saved my life unintentionally, of course. I do believe that children save a mother's life or a woman's life, but you just have to see it.
You keep saying she saved your life.
Yeah.
Can you dive a little bit deeper into how?
First of all, she saved my life in so many ways. In one way, I'm going to say 2 ways now. In one way, she saved my life personally, as in like what I just mentioned, to get to know myself better so that I can understand her. I have to, when you become a mom, you have to understand yourself so that you can understand your children. For me, it doesn't work any other way. I don't know. That for me, that's how it works, and it works magic. In the second, in a second way, she saved my life from divorce. She was my strength. She was the reason why I woke up every morning to work hard, to protect her and protect myself, to build the peace that we deserve. She's the reason that she reminded me of my childhood and how I was before I had all the traumas in my life and forgot my worth. She's the reason I understood what it means to be loved. Most of us have a different or a wrong idea of what love means. But she is the reason that made me understand what love means and what kind of love do I deserve. Of course, I understood that through me loving her. And a mother's love is unconditional. And so I understood that I also deserve an unconditional love. And I'm not talking about waiting for someone else to give me that unconditional love. No, I'm talking about myself giving myself that kind of love, to be unconditionally in love with myself. And a lot of people might think, but that's selfish. No, there's a thin line between being selfish and loving yourself. Loving yourself means taking care of yourself. Loving yourself means waking up in the morning and just not giving in to the pillow and just stay sleeping till noon because you're depressed. And that's something that I totally respect. Depression, I don't want to tap into that, but just to say that depression is serious. But in some cases, it's different. You can. It's a calling. Your child is calling you. You can't just give in. Otherwise, who's going to be there for them? Who's going to wake up in the morning and take care of them? Who's going to be at school and attend their sports day and their achievements? So she saved my life in that way, where I was able to say no. Stop. I don't allow this. She was the reason I learned what it means to have boundaries, to respect my boundaries.
You mentioned divorce. At what point did you realize that things weren't going to work out with your husband at the time?
when abuse started increasing, I noticed in the beginning I used to put it aside just to keep the peace. Of course, that's wrong. And there was emotional abuse, mental abuse, and then there was physical abuse. I knew that at some point, I knew I had to get out because there was inconsistency in being safe and respectful and compassionate. There was no compassion anyway from the other partner. But there was consistency in abuse, consistency in damaging, consistency in sabotaging the safety and the peace in the house and outside the house. I had to get out, and I knew it wasn't going to work out after 6 years of trying to put the pieces together every time they fall. And I'm the kind of person that when I turn off, I turn off. When I kick the person, I kick the person. I'm done. I'm that kind of person. Yes, I tolerate. I'm patient. I give chances. No problem. Okay? And I also had this idea, no, I want her to have a father. I don't want to break this family. I had this perfect image of a family, father and a mother and the child, and oh my God, it's so happy, blah, 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 and all that stuff. But then I realized, you know what? If I don't have this dream or this perfect vision, does not mean I'm going to fail. I was scared. Yes, I was scared of my family telling me, see, we told you, for instance. I was scared that I would be, blamed. Yes, I was scared. I absolutely was, even though I'm not that kind of person. I never was like, oh, I'm scared of society. What are people going to say? I never really thought of these things. But there's this voice deep down inside of you, talks to you, this toxic voice, and you have to get rid of. And there was one day, I knew there was a pattern. I knew that, oh my God, this is not working out. There was a pattern, but there was one day where I had it. I was done. I felt like I was taking care of a toddler man. Okay? And I didn't have that capacity, and I shouldn't. And no woman should. Okay, we already have babies to take care of, our own children. A woman should not get married so that she can mother a man, right? And so this is where I was. There were so many reasons. And I guess I was just waiting for him to change. But then I realized that it's not my job to change him. It's not my job to fix him. It's not my job to teach him how to treat me. When I started putting my boundaries, when I started placing these boundaries and showing real self-respect, this is when he appeared, the real him. He just right there. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta get out. I gotta run. Because it wasn't gonna work out any other way. Either I submit to his way of life, which is the abuse, the continuous abuse, which my daughter also faced, or I leave with dignity, and I have to accept the outcome.
How old was your daughter when you decided to leave?
2.5, I think. Around 2.5. Yeah.
How was the response of people around you? Because it is, you know what I mean? divorce is still a taboo topic. Even though a lot of people experience it, we don't talk about it enough. It's still very taboo. How was the response of family, of friends?
Very supportive. And I wish this for every mom and every woman to get this kind of support. My family, me and my family are very strong. And this is something that the other partner didn't have and didn't understand, and it killed him. That we are very strong and we are together and we support each other no matter what happens. I truly am grateful for my family because, yes, I did a lot of work. Yes, I know, I am strong. They keep telling me that, but you did it. But you're strong. If you weren't that strong, it wouldn't have worked out. They're right. But their presence gave me a lot of strength as well. The way they believed in me, and the way they loved my daughter, and the way they took care of us, that is like magic. Really, I wish this for every mom and every woman, because we deserve that. I'm against this way of thinking, this culture, toxic culture. No, عيب وما تتطلقي ما تخربي بيتك. Don't ruin the family's, your family, don't ruin the house that you've built. Wait, I'm not the only one who's building this house. The other person is supposed to build it with me. So if he's not cooperating, and I'm trying, it doesn't work from one side. It's not one-sided thing. So I'm absolutely against this. And people need to wake up. Some families need to wake up. Stop blaming your daughters. Stop blaming mothers. Really, honestly, just plainly, I'm going to say it this way. Get off. Stop shaming mothers. They're doing the best they can. The best. Because do you know how long it takes for a mom to come back to herself, her hormones and her body and who she is? 5 years. 5 years, subhanallah. Yani, you have a child, they say the first 5 years of the child's life is the most important. And the mom gets back to her real self and her normal hormones and everything, her personality, 5 years. So it's connected. Everything is connected. Give them a break. You can't just blame them, like expect them to give birth to a child, get up, and just go on with her life. It doesn't work that way. She needs a lot of care. She needs a lot of support. She needs presence from her family and her husband. But unfortunately, there are so many men out there and so many families do not understand that fact. That's it.
Your daughter was very young. 2.5 is very young.
Yeah.
How did you start communicating and explaining to her what is, where is daddy?
Thank you. It's a really good subject. And a lot of moms suffer from that. They don't know how to deal with this situation. As much as I knew how to deal with it, it was still hard for me. But when it comes to reality and facing what is happening, you cannot change it. The best thing you can do as a mom is speak with your child age appropriate. Your phrases, your words need to be age appropriate. The first time my daughter asked me where Baba is, I said, Baba lives in another house. She said, why? I said, because mommy and Baba don't want to live together. I'll tell you why I said that. I said that because, first of all, I don't want to blame anybody. That's not good for a child. Even if he's the worst person in the world, you cannot blame a parent in front of a child. Any of them. Okay? Then I said, it's not your fault. Because children always think whatever happens, any conflict around the house, even if it's got nothing to do with them, they think it's their fault. Because the world revolves around the child, right? And that's the only thing a child knows. So I made sure she understands that it's not her fault and that she is very safe and that mommy loves her very much and that adults are going to take care of this. That's it. That's it. And I kept repeating this script. It's a script. You say it again and again. Sometimes it changes in a different way, but yeah, you have to be very simple. Children cannot handle too much explanation. They cannot handle big words. You say the phrase, you say the explanation, whatever, not explanation, you say whatever it is they asked, 1 word, 2 words, and then you stop. No explanation, no need. They don't need it. And that's what I kept saying to her. She kept asking me so many questions after that, after she grew up. Well, actually, that was like, I think, a couple of months ago. Yeah, she said, Baba has his own house. He lives far away. And I said, yeah, he has his own house. And what did she say after that? She asked me, can I go? And I said, no. Why? Not because I'm against it, but because that's our routine. Because you live with mommy, you are at an age where you stay with mommy, I'm your caregiver, and daddy has his own life at the moment. You see him weekly, okay? Go have fun with him, enjoy your time, he gets you presents, you play. And I just say all these simple things for her, and she looks forward to it. You cannot damage a child by saying negative things to them. No, daddy is dangerous. No, Baba is not good to be your father. Some moms do that. This is absolutely wrong. Please stop doing that. Don't do that. You're just going to damage your child, and you are going to be part of the chaos, part of causing the chaos. Why? Why should you do that? Have your child to be next to you and trust you and have this bond because your child needs it and you need it as well. Yeah.
So, Ishtar, I want to ask you something. Do you feel like you've gotten to a point where you and your ex-husband are able to co-parent?
No, absolutely not. No, he doesn't want that. And I cannot change people. I cannot force anybody to do anything. It's not my job, Nour, I always say that. I always talk to moms on my social media. I'm honest. I'm very honest. I don't agree with damaging someone else's reputation or speak ill about anybody. But I say the truth as is, with respect, with dignity. It's not my job to do his work. It's his job. My job is to do my work and do what is fit for my daughter. It's my job to protect her. It's my job to be, to raise her to be an emotionally intelligent human being. It's my job to be there for her. I know what my job is. But when someone tells me, no, but you have to, إنه بادري إنه you have to make effort so that he can come around. No. Why should I do his effort? Why should I do that? Tell me, give me one good reason. I'm going to ask you, do you think I should do his work?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that men and women have very specific roles, and I think it's meant to be that way.
Yes. But what does it mean for a child when you have to drag a father from his hand and go like, here you go, be the father, when it's not real, Where does that go? Where does that lead us? Yeah.
Again, going back to each one has their role.
Yeah, exactly.
And, that's the way it's supposed to be.
I truly believe that each parent should take responsibility for whatever they have to do. Like, be responsible for your role, for your duties. You ran away from your duties and you still don't want to co-parent. And this is exactly the reason why we got here, why we're divorced, because there was no cooperation. There was no co-parenting aslan from the beginning. So why should I make more effort even after the divorce? Like, it's like that's the whole point of divorce, right? When it comes to such situations. But yeah, it's not my job. I already have a lot on my shoulders to take care of. So it'll be like unfair for myself. I'm going to start with myself. Yeah. It's unfair for me. It's unfair for my daughter to give her something unreal. I don't want her to be responsible for that. I want her to have a father who is willing to respect her, to respect his daughter by respecting the mom, by respecting the family, by respecting her rights, and be peaceful.
It sounds like you've been through a lot. And I can only imagine how much healing you had to do while you were going through all of this. What did that healing journey look like for you? And how are you today?
The healing journey was hard. In the beginning, I was holding on to something that was already broken. I cried a lot. Yes, I went back. I forgave. I went back. I just wanted to hold on. I was afraid of losing something that was an illusion. I had a different idea of my marriage, which I have created. And a lot of women do that. But not because we're wrong, or not because we're stupid, or not because we're not. No, we're smart. We're wonderful. It's just because we are emotional and we're real. We're true to ourselves. And we just want the best for ourselves. A woman usually wants to build a family. And that's something that I didn't want to let go of. I thought that there could be a chance, there could be hope. But it was hard for me to let go, and it was hard for me to heal, which led me into also awakening so many old wounds from old relationships, old wounds from traumas, from my childhood. And I was like, hold on a second. This is not just about my marriage. This is about me in general, as a whole. And I had to go through it. Divorce forced me to be real to myself. It forced me to face my fears. It forced me to go through all of this and get to know myself all over again. And that's why I said in the beginning that was necessary. And I didn't even plan it, but it was absolutely amazing for my daughter. It turned out to be perfect, wonderful. How am I today? It's funny. I just I told my sister yesterday, or I think I told my mom and as well. I said, I never thought that I would reach to this point. I would get to this point where I'm so confident. I never felt that kind of confidence before. I never thought I would listen to my voice and trust my voice. You feel it. It's just weird. It's like this gut feeling, this voice in your heart. You hear it, you trust it. And when you actually trust it, you turn out to be right. And it's real. It's real. All you have to do is just listen and you have to be focused. Really, the healing journey is so important for any person, man or woman. It's not just about women as well. So I'm strong. I feel so strong, so confident. I'm not scared. I used to be scared all the time. I'm not. Even when I see something, like I feel like something is happening, or when I wake up in the morning and I get bad news, for instance, it used to bother me so quickly, so easily. Now I'm like, okay, that's okay. Let's just sit down and see what we can do about this. You see, self-regulation is beautiful when you learn how to do that. So yeah.
Do you also use art to help your daughter process big emotions that she's having? Because I know around this age, I have a daughter that's also 4.
Yeah.
They have a lot of big emotions, right?
Yeah,
Can you tell us, how does art and storytelling help kids process these emotions?
Goodness. Yeah, I mean, wow. I'll tell you the story about my daughter. This is amazing. I love to see the results. So I've been teaching my daughter how to express her anger and sadness. So I have this thing with her where over the past 2 years, I kept telling her continuously, because children don't learn from the first time. You have to be consistent, and you tell them over and over. You have to be patient, okay? And then I said, okay, for example, she was crying about chocolate. And I have rules when it comes to chocolate. So she's like, I want it now. And I'm like, screaming and, just chaos. And I just stood there calmly, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go sit right over there. I never leave her. This is something that we have to understand as mothers. Do not leave your child alone in the room while they're having a tantrum. Because you also want to show them that you accept them for who they are and what they're going through. You're here, but you're just going to sit on the side, okay? That chair, for instance, or somewhere next to them, and wait. I'm just going to sit right here, okay? I'm going to give you some space so that you can calm down. Of course, she didn't like that, but I held my boundaries. I was very calm, kind, and firm. And then she came to me. I said, do you want to draw your feelings, or do you want to stomp your feet on the ground? Do you want to maybe hit the pillow? I give choices, these healthy choices. And she said, I want to draw. I was like, okay. And we sat there, and she drew an angry face. And she said, this is my angry face. And I said, that's good. Okay. So then I don't just fix or help her regulate. I also go back and talk about what happened, what got us here, what happened, so that she can understand why this happened and how she got calmer. And over time, Nour, I kid you not, when my daughter feels upset, she automatically asks for a pen and a paper, and she sits and draws whatever she wants to draw, just so that she can calm herself. It's a tool. I gave her a tool, and now she's using it. Even painting, I put a canvas, and I put plastic sheets underneath her, and I just go wild. And she does. She paints with her hands. She just uses colors. I get her all these watercolors, kids friendly, non-toxic. I mean, wow, the way she expresses herself, it's amazing. And it helped her throughout time, and she's more calmer. She's yeah, it helps. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. What are some practical tools that parents can use at home to help their children express their emotions?
Definitely what I said. Painting, definitely give them space and provide the colors and the brushes and the canvases or paper in a way where they can feel free and move freely as well. It's better than just staying on the table, but you can also do that. But in my personal experience and my opinion, I think that it's so really better to have space.
I can imagine it's freeing.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, imagine if you can do it as a mom as well. I do it. It helps you breathe. Sometimes we forget to breathe, and when you do it, you just go, oh my God, this is amazing, really, wow. And you see the results. There's another thing, storytelling, books. We always invest in books. I mean, my daughter, she loves it so much. And I choose for her the books that could help her. There are these books that tap into their emotions and teach them how to express their emotions and name them. I also recommend these cards with the faces, expressions, angry, happy, excited, sad, crying. I have them on the wall. And whenever she feels upset, I take her to that corner on the wall and I ask her, which one do you feel? That was in the beginning when she didn't know. Now she can say, I'm angry, I'm sad, you make me angry. She can say these things. And I'm listening. Before she couldn't, so I would tell her, just, put your finger on which emotion, and she would do that. And go like, oh, that's sad. Do you feel sad? Yeah, okay, what can I do to help you? What can we do to feel better? And this is where you work with your child as a team. Like, I'm with you in this. You're not alone. You're safe. I'm going to be here to help you through these big emotions, big feelings. Because these emotions, to us, we forget that they're huge for our children. We got used to them. Okay, we grew up and that's it. We're adults now. We get it. But for them, no. And also, you might be surprised, there are big emotions for you too as an adult that you might not know how to process because maybe no one taught you in the beginning how to do that. So now, this is where you start also your healing journey. Sometimes it takes us a long time to regulate our emotions. And this is the secret. Your daughter is having a tantrum. And some of us, by the way, some parents, maybe all of us, we get scared. Why do mothers become dysregulated when a child is having tantrum? Because we get scared of that tantrum. Oh my God, I don't want to face it. I don't want to do this. But when you tell yourself, this is just temporary. It's going to end. You regulate yourself, then you regulate the child, not vice versa.
Speaking of regulating ourselves as moms, I know you have a freebie prepared for moms listening. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, I prepared a freebie for moms where they can use this as a way to calm themselves, to have tools, simple tools throughout the day. I think there were 5 practices. Each one is simple. Nothing, you don't have to do much really. It's a calm corner kind of practice, and moms deserve to be calm. Moms deserve peace as well. So the way you treat yourself is going to determine your day. So in this freebie, I also mention how to be kind with yourself, how to care about yourself, and put your hand on your heart, on your chest, and breathe. Remember to breathe longer. Remember to touch your arms, to how to do that. Also, this freebie mentions that you don't have to be perfect to be a good parent. You just have to be consistent, and you have to return to yourself. Having a strong relationship with your child is not about being perfect. It's about returning after a tantrum or after a difficult feeling, returning to yourself and to your child emotionally.
We'll add the link to the download in the show notes below. Ishtar, if you were to leave moms listening, specifically single moms or moms going through a divorce at the moment, with one message, what would that one message be?
So, what I want to say is that I cannot tell you that my experience is the same as yours or yours is the same as mine. Every divorce has its own story. Divorce, usually, it's not that pretty. It's very ugly. But the only thing I can tell you is that don't lose yourself through the process. And I promise you it's going to pass. Take care of yourself and take care of your children, because at the end, this is all going to be talk. It's going to be an old story. At the end of the day, you are the one who is going to see your children's great work. You're going to see your work through your children. So don't lose yourself. That's all. That's all I'm going to tell you. Please don't lose yourself. I also wanted to say that the biggest misconception about divorce is that a divorce damages a child. The opposite is true. Absolutely not. Divorce does not damage a child. What really damages a child is emotional absence. So always be there for your child emotionally. That's what a child really needs in the beginning of their lives, even as a teenager. So help them understand their emotions. Help them name their emotions. And you do the same, you'll be fine.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being so open about your journey. I'm sure that, moms going through the same thing will feel like they're not alone. And that's the whole point of these episodes. Remember that if you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You know where to find me. You can find me on contact@Madinat Mom, on www.madinatmom.com, or on our Instagram @Madinat Mom. Until next time, take care of yourselves as fiercely as you take care of your little ones.